Take a deep breath. The life you desire is not far away. It's waiting for you to relax into its presence. Manifestation begins not with effort, but with ease. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. This is the sacred truth. Relaxation is the gateway to miracles. Relaxation is not just about resting the body. It is about entering a state of being where you become fully open to the gifts the universe has been trying to give you all along. When you relax, you signal to life itself that you trust, that you believe, and that you are ready to receive without resistance. Manifestation does not come through tension or control. It comes through alignment. And alignment begins the moment you stop striving and start surrendering. The truth is, so many of us have been conditioned to think we must work harder, push more, and never let our guard down. We are told that results only come to those who hustle endlessly, who chase every opportunity, who never stop moving. But this approach, though common, often leads to burnout, frustration, and disconnection from our inner truth. Why? Because it is rooted in fear. It is driven by the belief that if we don't do it all ourselves, we won't get what we want. And fear is the very energy that blocks the flow of what we're asking for. When you relax, however, everything begins to shift. Your body releases tension, your mind becomes quieter, and your heart opens. In that space, your energy softens. You stop sending out the signal of I need or I'm desperate, and instead begin radiating the peaceful frequency of I already am. And I already have. This is the energy that attracts. This is the energy that creates. When you are relaxed, you are no longer chasing the future. You are living in the present, and the present moment is where all power resides. Relaxation is receiving mode because it aligns you with the truth that everything you desire is already on its way. Imagine your desires like sunlight beaming down upon you. If you're constantly running around, building walls of doubt and fear, you block that light. But if you sit still, breathe deeply, and allow the warmth to touch you, it nourishes you without effort. That's how the universe works. It doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to openness, it responds to calm expectancy. You may wonder, but what about action? Don't I need to do something? Yes, action matters, but aligned action flows naturally from a relaxed state. When you're relaxed, you hear your intuition more clearly, you get nudges, insights, and ideas that feel good and right. You move not from fear, but from inspiration, and those small, inspired actions carry far more power than forced effort ever could, because they are born from alignment, not from anxiety. There is a deep intelligence in relaxation. It is not passive. It is powerful. It is you getting out of the way so life can move through you. So many times, we try to make things happen on our own. We beg, we plead, we push, and we wear ourselves out trying to control every outcome. But life doesn't need us to do that. Life needs us to trust it, to trust that we are worthy of good things, even when we aren't working ourselves to exhaustion. Relaxation says, I am enough. It says, I don't have to prove my worth through struggle. It says, I let go so something greater can take over. When you enter this mindset, you shift from fear to faith. And faith is the soil in which miracles grow. Think of a flower. It doesn't force itself to bloom. It doesn't panic when the rain doesn't come today. It simply trusts the process. It relaxes into the rhythm of nature, knowing that the sun will rise again and that all will unfold in perfect time. You are no different. You are a part of this intelligent, loving universe. And when you trust that, when you live from that truth, everything begins to blossom for you too. Relaxation also heals. It repairs the nervous system. It opens the heart. It slows the breath and brings you back to the now. And in the now, there is nothing missing. In the now, you are already whole, already enough, already connected to everything you've ever wanted. So today, allow yourself to step into receiving mode. Take a moment to breathe deeply. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let the thoughts racing in your mind quiet down. You are safe. You are guided. You are supported. Every time you relax, you become magnetic. Every time you soften, the universe leans in closer. Every time you trust, life rises up to meet you. You do not have to chase what already belongs to you. You simply have to open up and allow it in. Relaxation is not the absence of action. It is the presence of trust. And in trust, everything becomes possible. Resistance repels, ease attracts. This simple truth holds the secret to manifesting everything your heart desires. Yet so many of us unknowingly live in a constant state of resistance, clenching, pushing, overthinking, and trying too hard to control every detail of our lives. We fear the unknown, we doubt the process, and in doing so, we block the very blessings we long for. When you resist, you send out a frequency of fear. That fear communicates to the universe that you do not trust, that you do not believe, that you are not ready to receive. It's like holding up a giant stop sign to the flow of abundance, love, healing, or success. Even if you are visualizing your desires, repeating affirmations, and writing in your journal, if your energy is tense, impatient, or doubtful, you're standing in your own way. Resistance often disguises itself as ambition or planning. You may think you are being productive, but underneath your action is anxiety. You might be trying to figure everything out, force results, or control how things unfold. That kind of energy is heavy. It's rooted in fear of what might go wrong, or in a belief that you alone must make everything happen. This energy pushes your desires further away because the universe does not respond to force, it responds to flow. Ease, on the other hand, is rooted in trust. It is a quiet confidence that everything is always working out for your highest good, even if you can't yet see it. Ease is not laziness or avoidance, it's a higher form of allowing. It's knowing when to act and when to step back. It's trusting the process even when results haven't shown up yet. It's letting go of the timeline and understanding that divine timing is always perfect. Think about how water flows. It doesn't resist rocks or obstacles. It flows around them, gently but powerfully, and in time, it shapes mountains. That's the power of ease. It doesn't shout. It doesn't struggle. It trusts its path, and in that trust, it becomes unstoppable. When you are in a state of ease, your energy becomes magnetic. You begin to draw in the people, opportunities, and resources that match your vibration. You stop chasing, and things start chasing you. This doesn't mean you sit and do nothing. It means your actions come from inspiration, not desperation. It means you listen to your intuition, not your fear. It means you walk through open doors rather than banging on closed ones. Resistance says it's not happening fast enough. Ease says everything is unfolding perfectly. Resistance says, what if I fail? Ease says, if it's meant for me, it will find me. Resistance says, I have to figure it all out. Ease says, I trust that the next step will be revealed. There is profound wisdom in ease, because ease doesn't mean you've given up. It means you've gotten out of your own way, you've surrendered control and stepped into alignment. And when you're aligned, you don't need to chase. You attract. You may have noticed that things come to you more easily when you're not trying so hard. That's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of your vibration. When you're relaxed and trusting, you become an energetic match to your desires. You're no longer emitting resistance. Instead, you're sending out a clear, calm signal. I am ready. I am open. I am worthy. Ease is a choice. It begins with a decision to stop fighting your current circumstances and start trusting the greater plan. It begins when you soften your heart and release the need to control. It begins when you take a deep breath and remind yourself, I don't have to do it all alone. I am supported. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. The very fact that you desire something means it is possible for you. And the way to it is through alignment, not anxiety. Through peace, not pressure. Let your life be guided by the energy of ease. Wake up each day and say, I choose to trust. I choose to flow. I choose to let go of what no longer serves me. Take small steps from a place of love, not fear. Rest when you need to. Let go when you must. And keep reminding yourself that nothing you truly desire is out of reach when you stop resisting and start allowing. The universe responds not to your words, but to your vibration. And when your vibration is soft, open, trusting, and joyful, that's when the magic happens. That's when the manifestations arrive with grace and speed, because ease attracts what struggle never could. You are not here to suffer or strive endlessly. You are here to enjoy the journey, to trust the unfolding, to live in ease, and to know deep within that what's meant for you is already making its way. All you have to do is receive. And to receive, you must relax, you must trust, you must let go. You don't have to control everything. You were never meant to. Life is not a problem to solve, it's a mystery to unfold. And when you try to control every moment, every outcome, every person, you rob yourself of the very magic that makes life beautiful. Control is born from fear. Fear that things might go wrong. Fear that you'll be disappointed. Fear that you are not safe unless you hold everything together. But that's not true. You are safe, not because you control life, but because you are supported by something greater, something wiser, and infinitely loving. The need to control often comes from old wounds. Perhaps you were hurt before, and now you try to prevent pain from ever touching you again. Maybe you were betrayed, abandoned, or ignored, and now you cling to the illusion that if you manage every detail, you won't be surprised by sorrow. But trying to control everything is like holding your breath for too long. You're trying to survive, but you're suffocating your own joy in the process. There is a gentle power in letting go. There is freedom in allowing things to unfold. You don't need to plan every moment of your life. You don't need to make everyone like you. You don't need to be perfect. When you release the need to control, you invite peace. You make space for trust. And trust is the foundation of a peaceful, fulfilled life. Trusting life doesn't mean everything will go the way you want it to. It means you believe that even if things look different from what you expected, they are still working out for your highest good. It means you stop fighting the current and learn to flow with it. It means you soften your heart and open your hands to receive what is already yours. When you stop trying to control, you start to feel lighter. The weight of expectations and anxiety begins to lift. You start to notice things you missed before. The beauty of the present moment, the synchronicities that guide you, the answers that come when you're quiet. You begin to realize that life isn't happening to you. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means shifting your focus from force to flow. It means you do your best and then trust that your best is enough. It means you plant the seeds and allow the universe to grow the garden. You don't dig up the soil every day to see if the roots are forming. You water, you wait, you believe. That's how life blossoms, through patience and trust. Sometimes the things you're trying so hard to control are the very things you need to release. That relationship you keep trying to fix, that outcome you're chasing, that image of perfection you hold on to. Maybe they're not falling apart. Maybe they're falling away so that something better can take their place. Maybe life is clearing the path for something more aligned, more true, more peaceful. You don't need to know how everything will work out. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to rush the process. Life is not in a hurry. The sun rises slowly. The seasons change with grace. And you too are unfolding exactly as you should. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself rest. Let yourself trust that what is meant for you cannot be taken. You will never miss what's truly yours. When you stop trying to hold everything so tightly, your hands become free to receive. This is your reminder. You are not in this alone. You are being guided, you are being held, and the moment you release control, you open the door to blessings you never saw coming, the love you deserve, the peace you've been seeking, the opportunities that align with your soul. They are all waiting beyond the walls of control. So today, loosen your grip. Let life meet you with surprises. Let the universe take over where your effort ends. Stop trying to make everything perfect and start trusting that everything is already perfectly in motion. Your only job is to align with faith, to follow the gentle nudges of your heart, and to surrender the rest. You don't have to control everything. You just have to believe that everything is already working out, and it is, even now, even here, even in this moment of uncertainty. Let go and let life lead. Because the more you let go, the more everything begins to fall into place. Miracles come through stillness, not through rushing, not through noise, not through frantic effort, but through the quiet, gentle presence of now. In stillness, you return to your truth. In the stillness of your breath, of your heart, of your soul, you remember who you are, not who you're trying to be, not who the world tells you to become, but who you've always been beneath the layers of doubt and fear. So many of us live in a constant state of motion. We believe we must always be doing, achieving, reaching, chasing. We fill our days with noise, distractions, tasks, and expectations. And while it may feel productive, it often leaves us feeling more disconnected and unfulfilled than ever. We're moving but not listening. We're acting but not aligning. And in this state of motion, we miss the quiet invitations life is constantly offering us. Stillness is the space where clarity is born. It's where inspiration emerges. It's where healing begins. It is in stillness that the answers we've been seeking finally surface, not as loud declarations, but as soft whispers. Whispers that say, you are already enough. Whispers that say, it's okay to let go. Whispers that say, everything is unfolding just as it should. When you pause, when you sit in silence, when you breathe, without rushing to the next thing, you create space, and that space is sacred. It is where the universe speaks. It is where your soul rests. It is where the unseen begins to take form. This is the realm where miracles are conceived in the quiet womb of stillness. You don't need to push so hard. You don't need to figure it all out at once. You don't need to have all the answers. What you need is to return to yourself, to sit still long enough to hear the truth rise within you, the truth that you are supported, the truth that life is not against you, the truth that peace is available right here, right now. Stillness doesn't mean inactivity, it means presence. It means being fully here with yourself in this moment. It means letting go of yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's anxieties. It means softening into the now and trusting that the now holds everything you need. When you are still, you stop running. You stop hiding. You stop pretending. You meet yourself exactly where you are. And in that meeting, you find compassion, you find acceptance, you find peace. And it is from this place of peace that miracles emerge. Because miracles are not always thunderclaps or lightning bolts. Often they are gentle shifts, a change of heart, a sudden clarity, a sense of relief, a divine idea that floats into your mind during a moment of rest, a person who shows up just when you stop searching, a solution that finds you when you release the need to fix everything. Stillness is the soil in which faith grows. It is the silence where healing begins. It is the breath before the breakthrough. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is sit down, close your eyes, and do nothing but breathe. Because in that breath, you realign, you return, you open, you release the tension that has been blocking your flow. You stop trying to force the outcome and instead allow grace to enter. The world may try to convince you that stillness is weakness, that if you're not constantly busy, you're falling behind. But the truth is, stillness is strength. It takes courage to pause. It takes wisdom to wait. It takes deep faith to trust that something powerful is happening, even when you can't see it. When you give yourself permission to be still, you give the universe permission to move on your behalf. You stop micromanaging every detail and start co-creating with the divine intelligence that governs all things. You align with the natural rhythm of life. Inhale, exhale. Expand, contract, action, rest. This rhythm is not a race, it is a dance. In the silence of stillness, you remember that you are already whole. You remember that everything you desire is already making its way to you. You remember that you are guided even when the path is unclear. You remember that peace is not a destination, it is a decision, a choice to slow down, to breathe, to be. Let the stillness speak. Let it soothe your mind. Let it wash over your spirit like warm light. There is wisdom in your stillness. There is clarity in your calm. There is healing in your quiet. And in that quiet, miracles are being born. They are not far away. They are not in some distant future. They are right here, ready to enter your life the moment you become still enough to receive them. Trust is the soft whisper that tells you you don't have to carry this alone. It is the invisible bridge between where you are and where you long to be. It is the quiet strength that rises when fear begins to fall away. In a world that teaches us to prepare for the worst, to always have a plan B, to expect disappointment, trust can feel like a foreign language. But the moment you begin to speak it, even in small syllables, everything within you starts to shift. Tension is what happens when you try to control things that were never yours to manage. It shows up in the tight shoulders, the restless thoughts, the worry that keeps circling back like a storm cloud. Tension is born from fear. The fear that things won't work out. The fear that you're not enough. The fear that life won't support you unless you micromanage every outcome. But tension doesn't bring clarity. It only tightens the knot between you and your desire. Trust, on the other hand, is ease. It's the unclenching of your fists. It's the deep breath that fills your lungs and tells your body that it is safe to let go. Trust does not demand that you have all the answers. It only asks that you believe there is a greater wisdom guiding your path. Even when you cannot see the destination, trust says, take the step anyway. The ground will meet you. When you choose trust, you begin to soften. You begin to listen to the gentle nudges of your heart instead of the loud screams of your fear. You stop overanalyzing, and you start allowing. You release the timelines, the pressure, the expectations, and in that release, you create space. Space for miracles, space for grace, space for what is truly meant for you to come into your life without force. Tension tries to build life through effort alone. It says if I just work harder, it will happen. It says if I control enough variables, I can prevent pain. But the truth is, life doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to presence. And presence cannot exist where tension rules. Trust pulls you back into the now. It reminds you that this moment, just as it is, holds value. Even in the waiting, even in the uncertainty, even in the unknown. You may think that if you don't worry, you're being irresponsible. That if you're not tense, you must not care enough. But worry has never created peace, and tension has never produced miracles. What if just for today you replaced your worry with wonder? What if you met your unknown with curiosity instead of control? What if instead of asking, what if it all goes wrong, you began to ask, what if it all turns out better than I ever imagined? Trust doesn't mean everything will go the way you planned. It means you believe that even when it doesn't, you will be okay. It means you choose to believe in something greater than your fear, something wiser than your doubt, something more loving than your inner critic. Trust says, I may not know what's coming, but I know I will meet it with strength and grace. Each time you trust, even in the smallest way, you rewrite the patterns of fear. Each time you let go of control, you open the door for magic. Trust is not a one-time decision. It is a practice, a daily surrender, a moment-by-moment invitation to return to your center, to your breath, to your truth. It is choosing faith over fear again and again. When you live in trust, life begins to reflect that energy back to you. The right people show up, the answers arrive, the timing aligns, not because you forced it, but because you made space for it. You allowed it. You believed it was possible. You don't have to know exactly how your dream will unfold. You just have to believe that it will. You don't have to have every step mapped out. You only need to take the next one with your heart open and your spirit willing. Life meets you there every time. So relax your grip, ease your mind, soften your heart. There is nothing wrong with you. You haven't failed. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're simply learning to trust. And that learning is sacred. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to trust that the universe is holding you, guiding you, and leading you somewhere beautiful, even now, even here. Let trust replace the tension. Let love replace the fear. Let peace find its way into every corner of your being. Because the more you trust, the more life flows. And the more life flows, the more you realize you were never meant to force what was always meant to find you. Affirmations are not just positive sentences we repeat to ourselves. They are sacred declarations, energetic shifts, and healing invitations. When spoken with intention and feeling, Affirmations create ripples in our subconscious mind, reprogramming old patterns and unlocking the flow of life. They serve as bridges from where we are to where we want to be. They carry the power to dissolve resistance, to lift fear, and to gently nudge the heart into a state of belief, openness, and trust. Every thought we think and every word we speak is an affirmation. Whether it's loving or limiting, empowering or defeating, the mind accepts it. That's why it's so important to become conscious of the inner dialogue we repeat daily. So often, without even realizing it, we affirm our limitations. I'll never have enough. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. These may seem like harmless passing thoughts, but over time, they form the foundation of our inner reality. And what we believe internally, we begin to experience externally. Affirmations are a way of breaking free from that unconscious loop. They are a declaration that we are no longer available for lack, fear, or doubt. They allow us to step into a new story, a better one, a higher one. When we affirm something with conviction, even if we don't fully believe it yet, we begin to send a new message to the mind, the body, and the universe. That message is, I am ready for something different. I am opening to something greater. The beautiful thing about affirmations is that they don't require anything outside of you. You don't need a perfect life, a huge amount of faith, or some mystical secret. All you need is a willingness to shift your inner language. All you need is the courage to speak kindly to yourself, even when your outer world hasn't caught up yet. Affirmations open the flow because they realign you with possibility. They quiet the voice of fear and amplify the voice of love. They don't deny reality, they transform it. By saying, I am worthy of abundance, you begin to see opportunities where there once were none. By saying, I trust life, you release the anxiety that once kept you stuck. By saying, I love and accept myself, you begin to treat yourself with the tenderness you've always needed. The key is repetition with feeling, not just mouthing the words, but breathing life into them. Feeling them in your body, letting them land in your heart, speaking them until they feel like truth. Even if they begin as whispers, over time, they become your new default, your new vibration. And from that vibration, you begin to attract different experiences, ones that match the love, peace, and power you're affirming within. You can affirm healing. My body knows how to heal. I am safe. I am strong. I am whole. You can affirm abundance. Money flows easily and effortlessly into my life. I am open to receiving. You can affirm love. I give and receive love freely. I am a magnet for loving, healthy relationships. You can affirm peace. I choose peace over worry. I am calm, centered, and grounded. You can affirm your worth. I am enough. I matter. I am deserving of good things. The more you speak life into yourself, the more life responds in kind. Affirmations change your vibration, and your vibration is your point of attraction. They allow you to flow with life instead of fighting against it. They soften your energy, clear your path, and make space for the blessings that have been waiting for you to believe in them. Affirmations are not magic spells, they are inner invitations. They ask you to believe in yourself even when you're scared. They ask you to speak life even when you feel broken. They ask you to trust in the unseen even when the seen feels shaky. And that trust, that brave, quiet trust, is what opens the flow. Each time you affirm something good, you heal a piece of your past. You rewrite the old story. You plant seeds of faith, hope, and love into the soil of your soul, and those seeds always grow, maybe not overnight, but with enough nurturing, with enough belief, they blossom into peace, into joy, into the very life you've been waiting for. Affirmations remind you that your voice is powerful, that your words are creative tools, that you have the ability to choose again, to begin again, to believe again. And in that belief, you become magnetic to all that is aligned with your highest good. So speak lovingly, speak boldly, speak as though your future is listening, because it is. Affirm what you desire and watch how the energy of life begins to flow toward it. The moment you do, the shift begins. The doors open, the healing starts, because every loving word you speak to yourself becomes a step toward the life your soul was always meant to live